Going on, everybody? Brendan here, Dad Planet, and I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. For those of you that celebrate the holiday, and really anybody that celebrates community and family, I hope your weekend was wonderful. We're gonna do another What Sold on eBay video here and cover the last 10 days in March. So I had a very strong finish, kind of a weakish middle, and a very strong ending, which is wonderful. So the BOLO's here, and I only picked 15, but there honestly could have been about 25. There were some really exciting sales, and I really like the ones that are featured in this video. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a full-time reseller, just buying time to spend more time with my family as somebody that works for himself. So it's not always easy. In fact, I have a young one in the room just adjacent to me, fast asleep on her nap time. So that's when I'm recording these intros. And I did the meat and potatoes of the video last evening because I knew my day would be a little bit scrambled here on Monday. I won't get a chance to go sourcing till around probably 3 or so. So it's gonna be late, throws me off my schedule a little bit, but that's how it goes when you are running your own business and trying to make it work for the fam. So 10-day period for the end of March. And speaking of community building, I'm actually close to 2,000 subscribers. So I want to first thank each and every one of you for spending your minutes and hours with me as we grow the community as a whole. And speaking of growing the community, I'm pretty heavily invested in everybody here. So I'm going to try to shoot for a goal of, let's say, somewhere over 5,000 subscribers by July. And if we get to that, I'm thinking of doing like a Christmas in July type of giveaway where I spend like just a number of days in a row doing wonderful giveaways. I was thinking about giving away a Nintendo Switch. You noticed that I have the Xbox 360. The next What Sold on eBay video, I'm gonna give that away. So thank you to everybody that went and watched that video and made your comments, and of course have subscribed. But I'm thinking about like doing a big one for 5,000. So that would be a really exciting goal for me to hit, and I need each and every one of your support if you are not subscribed. So again, if you want to see more eBay related content, reselling content in general, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But that will also enter you into the contests that I'm thinking of having when I birth this Christmas in July idea that I have. So I'm invested in you, and that's just my thank you for being a subscriber. But keep that in mind, and yeah. So without further ado, let's get into the BOLOs. All right, a wonderfully strong finish to March. I'm very, very satisfied. This is a 9-10 day period, 4,500 in gross, 3,000 in net, and my selling costs came down a little bit. You can see what I did for the entire month now. My selling costs came down, so that's good. 25, that's where I hover, 25, 26%, really, really good. Just almost 12.5 for total sales for March, 8,600 net, and I'm destroying last year this quarter. So again, we're in judgment quarter now. These next 3 months are really going to determine what the rest of the year is going to look like. As I've mentioned it before, last year, this time, coronavirus, that whole thing. But I've started off 2021 really, really well, and every BOLO in here, I mean, like I could have probably fit 25 in here because I had so many really interesting and cool sales. But we're gonna rattle off 15 here. First one, Ralph Lauren jeans. These are like Navajo Aztec style pants in black. These are really, really unique. In this listing, I've had this pair of pants for about 16 months. I've had to redo some things. So I took the pictures indoors, and they just weren't coming out well. So I had to redo the pictures. This was before I finished my deck. So you can see that the pictures are really, really old, but I had them inside, did it outside, and repriced them. I had these at 100 and I dropped them to 60, and then that's what they finally sold for. But really interesting and unique, and it was just a matter of time. But again, I had these probably priced. It wasn't necessarily that I had them priced incorrectly, just the pictures were terrible. So redid them outside, and they came out much, much better. So full price on these ones, 60 bucks, $12.80 in shipping. So buyer is $72.79 all in. pre-tax, and they cost me $4.99 at Goodwill. We will move on to the next one. Now this is funny because I found this at Goodwill and it was marked, what was it marked? It was marked $4.99. Brand new, baby gunned, my first Easter basket. If you like squeeze the carrot, it makes noise, and the bunny has sound, and I don't know, whatever. They all do a different thing. This product right now, and by the time you are watching this, like the Easter holiday will be over, but these were at least sold, and I remember seeing them specifically in Barnes & Noble for $24.99. But because I saw a recent comp for $50 online, I picked it up and found it at Goodwill. It wasn't a retail arbitrage purchase. It was something that I found in store for $5, turned around, and it sold the day I listed it for $50 and $3.99 in shipping. So a buyer is $53.98 all in. Again, cost me $4.99. The lesson here is even if something is sold somewhere else at a better price, doesn't mean you can't get your price on whatever platform you're selling on. Like just, maybe these were on Amazon all over the place, and you would think to yourself, well, no one's going to spend $50 if you can get it on Amazon for $25. That's simply not the case, and I continue to disprove that and dispel those rumors time and time again with the way I price. So keep that in mind. This was a timely sale. It worked out, and again, because of that recent comparable for $50, I was comfortable making this purchase, knowing it would sell, and it did, and it did quickly. So we'll move on to the next one. I'm just showing off here. Harley Davidson. These are sweet. I mean, these are like literal fire. So size 6 sandals for women, flames. I mean, they just had cool written all over them. Now, pro tip, I waited to list these on a day where I knew the sky would be high, there would be no clouds, and I shot this right around, you can tell by the shadows, like right around noonish, because I knew that the color would come out the way I wanted it to, like really, really vibrant red, but the sun had to be in a specific spot in order for me to like really get the images that I wanted to get done. So that's just a pro tip. Normally when I'm telling you guys how to do your photos, it's best to do them on an overcast day, but I felt with like the leather and the red combination that this specific time would work for me. And I think it did, because this had like 8 or 9 watchers really, really quickly. And the size 6, usually takes a little bit longer to sell, but these were literal fire and sold for $60. $60, $8.85 in shipping. So the buyer is $68.80 for all in pre-tax. They cost me $4.39. I absolutely love that. I will actually show you really quickly a picture of the interior tag so that you can see that as well. Stock number 81138. I don't know if I put that in my listing. You have to scroll down. I'm not going to bother doing that. But they were authentic. You can just tell by the way these are made that there were no authenticity issues here, and one of my favorite sales. So we'll move on to the next one. Must have been really rainy on the day I took these pictures, but I really liked this piece. Anthropology Rolling Pin, Stay Sweet. And I think, did I put this was new? Yeah, it was new and sold for $40. I mean, I thought it was a cool piece. And Anthropology is one of those brands that when something becomes like discontinued or out of print or whatever, the items become desirable and the price goes up. So a brand to keep your eye out for. It's hit or miss with certain things, but I liked what I saw here, and it only cost me $3.99. So the buyer paid $14.73 in shipping. I think this went from Ohio to California. So they are $54.72 all in pre-tax. Really nice item. The fact that it was brand new probably helped a little bit. And yeah, keep your eye out for certain Anthropology homeware, kitchen utensils, that type of thing. Not all of them are going to be a smash hit, but if it's brand new, absolutely get your phone out and do yourself the service of looking it up. So we'll move on to the next one. First time I have ever sold this brand, on Cloud 2.0 men's navy running shoes. These this is another brand that they haven't caught on to yet. I have another one coming up a little bit later on here that also falls into that same category of the stores miss them frequently. They don't know that they're really high end, high value. This is a BOLO brand for sure. So on Cloud 2.0, I will get you a picture of the tag. Swiss engineering, 47 in euro, and then 11.5 UK size. And sold for, did they sell these for full price? Yeah, full price, $79.99. And I actually screwed up on the shipping. It was marked FedEx. So the buyer paid $17 in shipping, but I shipped them priority for like $10. it, for whatever reason, and I know some of you are going through this too, where you do a listing and then you're on to your next listing and the shipping is defaulting to the settings that you had for your last listing. I don't know why that glitch still exists. And I'm too lazy to reach out to eBay to tell them to fix it. But so I was doing something like FedEx ground or whatever on the listing before, and that carried over here. So I made a little bit of money on shipping, but trust me when I tell you I lose money on shipping. Especially when you factor in bubble wrap and those types of things that you have to pay for on a daily basis if you want to ship delicate items. So, but anyway, keep your eye out for OnCloud, a very like behind the scenes, like under the radar brand from a shop Goodwill standpoint. So keep that in mind. That was a really, really good sale. They cost me $4.39, and the buyer is $96.99 all in pre-tax. We will move on to the next one. If you guys listened to the episode of Versus that I did with Akil, the Dapper Advisor, we talked about Nike ACG. All Conditions Gear is what that stands for. These boots continue to perform both in men's and women's. I had these listed for $100 and they sold for $85. I will show you a picture of the soles right there and then a picture of the interior tag. The number that I used was 970709. They were a women's size 8. You can see that on the tag as well. And she needed them quickly because she was going on a hiking trip. These went to Chicago. So $85 and $9.90 in shipping. $94.90. The buyer is all in. These were marked $6.99. I don't know if it was Goodwill or Volunteers of America. I can't remember. But it doesn't matter because they sold for $85, and that's just an amazing price. And I keep telling you guys ACG, ACG, ACG all day when you see it. Big money in that style from Nike. And we will move on to the next one. Now, this is one of my favorite sales, and they did not sell for $400. They sold for $200. But they are Mont Blanc cufflinks. Some of you be familiar with Mont Blanc, the brand for pens. And they also have a line of really high-end cufflinks in addition to like other products just outside of the pen market, for those of you that were unaware of that. But this was special to me because it came from my lovely mother, so I didn't pay a penny for them. So shout out to you, Mom. Love you so much. And a wonderful sale that I didn't have to pay for. $200, and they sold relatively quickly. And yes, again, you guys have heard me say before, if they are in mint condition, make absolutely certain that they are in mint condition. And these were. So I'm 100% confident that the buyer got them and loved them, as do I. I will move on to the next one. How do we pronounce this? For whoever that was that corrected me on Le Creuset, I went my entire life saying Le Creuset like a complete dummy. Le Creuset is how you pronounce that. And I don't know how you pronounce it. Arcteryx. How do you pronounce this? I know I could look it up, but I'm going to let you guys do that work for me. So leave me a how you pronounce this in the comments as best as you can do when typing it, because I don't know how you pronounce it. So I'm saying Arcteryx. But anyway, this is like a base layer. It's called the Delta Zip men's fleece. Thin, well made, but thin. So the reason I'm stressing the fact that it's thin is because I got $75 for it and it sold really quickly. So Polar Tech, the size, again, it was a men's small, so I felt like that would slow me down a little bit. And again, we're getting into like spring and summer, even though this is perfectly acceptable for spring weather in a lot of the area of the United States right now, if you're talking about like March and April moving forward, because of how thin it was. But I was super surprised that I got $75 for the item. But I mean, it's sweet. It's well made. There's little to no pilling, and that tends to happen on garments like these. You see it in a lot of the North Face gear. You see it a little bit less in some of the like old Patagonia stuff. But this was in great shape. Like maybe it never went through the actual wash, which is kind of where that pilling starts. Polar Tech, men's size small, $75. Unbelievable sale, and the buyer paid $3.99 in shipping for that. So they're $78.98 all in. It cost me $5. Amazing sale. Arcteryx, however you say it. It's BOLO. There's the one of the logos. They have a few iterations of it, but that's the one that should stand out the most to you when you're shopping. And we will move on to the next one. I'm because my mind is mush, I can't remember if I paid $5 for this or I got it for free. I'm almost certain I got this for free. Shout out to you in the in the reflection there, Brendan. See, sometimes I'm moving so fast I don't really pay attention. Usually I have it on an angle so you can't see me sitting there in my yellow shorts taking pictures of the televisions, but somebody didn't care. They paid 60 bucks for this thing. And oh, by the way, the reason this is in here is not because I got it for free or I paid $5 or whatever. It's because it doesn't have a VCR or a DVD attached to it at all. BOLO for mini televisions, like this is a 13-inch TV. BOLO for the ones that don't have either of them. Keep your eye out for them. I'm just about to list another one that I found in Goodwill for $5 that had the remote. The remote was working and it's got no VCR and no DVD. People use these for any of a number of things, even outside of that, especially gaming, which is why I have gaming in the title for one of my keywords. But yeah, 60 bucks. And what did they pay? They paid $31.72 in shipping. So they're $91.71 all in. We're going to call this zero, like the Mont Blanc, because I'm pretty sure I got this for free. I got one of them free recently on Marketplace. And I tell you guys to source them on Marketplace all the time because they always come up for $5, $10, 15 bucks, and in this case free. So great sale. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so Chip from Wowie, robot dog toy. I'll pop a picture of him up on the screen. When you're sourcing him, if he comes with the accessories, especially this watch, he also comes with like a digital ball. There's a battery stand, like a charging base that he sits in when he charges. If you have all of those together, buy it at a decent enough price, because if you get like him and he's working, like you can sell it for between $100 and $150, but even if he's not, part out value is amazing. So when I got Chip home, I charged him, but he wasn't working. All of the other pieces, though, were working, and this was one of those. This is like the Bluetooth watch that you can kind of program him on and operate from the watch. So very simple to photograph, and it worked. Was I able to test this on him? No, because he wasn't functioning correctly. But the fact that this thing just powered up and when it was charged turned a different color told me everything I needed to know that this thing worked. So I flipped it for 50 bucks. I mean, what a sweet deal. So this is the replacement smartwatch. The model on this one is 0805 or 0805B. I still have the ball listed. I still have the base lifted. So I got like $100 in parts on this guy, and this one sold for $50, and I think the whole ensemble cost me $6, so really, really cheap. And again, if you find him with all of the accessories, who cares if he works or not? Throw that thing in your cart and take it home, because the other accessories probably do work, and you'll make a ton of money on those as well. So $50, $3.99 in shipping. Buyer is $53.98, all in pre-tax. And like, we're going to call this $2 because it was like 4 or 5 pieces in total in that package, and I threw Chip in the garbage. So we'll move on to the next one. Now, when you're in stores and you're like fumbling through items left and right, when you know, you know. Now, this thing was big and kind of fluffy and sort of ugly. I think he's adorable, but like, let's face it, it's kind of ugly. So I picked him up because when you see Winnie the Pooh all day, every day of your life, these things tend to stand out. So I did my research on it. I couldn't find a comparable that was like this. There was a brown version of this La Ouf plush, and I don't know that it was like exactly kind of like this horned dragon thing with like a beaver tail. I don't really know what's going on here with this little dinosaur thing. But some of the other ones, the other styles, sold for a higher dollar amount, and I thought, you know what? This looks like it's predated to the 80s. It's really unique. It's kind of different. I'm going to price it high like I do pretty much with everything. And let's see what happens. So I priced it at 75 bucks, and I had somebody like another thing that I talked about in the Versus episode with Akil is this, somebody was like asking all sorts of questions like every day about this item. And I was like, that's the wrong buyer for this item. And eventually it finally sold to somebody who, you know, knew what they were getting and didn't require 55 million measurements of this and that and the other, well, which tends to drive me crazy and really slow me down. But I got 65 bucks for this plush, and then it cost $11.86 to ship. So the buyer is $76.85 all in. $3.99 is what I paid for it. It's actually $3.99 or $4.99, but I want to show you a picture of the tag so that you guys can get a look at that. So you can see how it says La Ouf right there. That's what the tag looks like. Really different and unique, and kind of on the heavy side. This thing was like 2 or 3 pounds, and I feel like it was like 16 or 17 inches. I don't remember exactly, but what a score on a really unique plush that you don't see every day. And I mean, just really weird looking. I mean, look at the back of this. It's like horned all the way down the back, and it's got like a beaver tail. Anyway, leave me a comment if you know more about what this plush is. Or what it's all about, because it was just kind of like a weird anomaly to find something like this. But you know, when you do it like I do it, that's bound to turn up at some point. So hopefully you guys will find something similar. Price it high if you find la oof. And yeah, I'll move on to the next one. So this is the other one that stores aren't really catching on yet. Fin Comfort. I get a decent amount of returns on this size because I think this is a German brand, so they size primarily UK size, but I think they list, I don't remember if they list the US size as well, but you just have to find the conversion chart for Fin Comfort and find out what the UK to US conversion sizes are. But these were just sitting on the shelf, and of course I knew it when I saw it because of the jewelry right here. It says Fin Comfort Germany, for those of you that can't see that well. But a good brand, and I pick it up often. So this style was, and there's, you can see right there, women's, and then I don't know if that's women's 11 UK. I don't remember what I put in here. So, okay, so I converted it here. Oh no, it was men's. All right, men's UK 11, and then in the US that's an 11.5 or a 12. Finamic Huelva black. 99 bucks is what I listed these for. Now, new. These shoes are between $300 and $400. So they start out very, very expensive for those of you that are unfamiliar with the brand. But seek them out in stores because the Goodwills of the world aren't catching on to this brand, and especially this style. It just looks like a walking shoe, like very, very normal. But I sold it for 90 bucks with $10.10 in shipping. So the buyer is $100.10 all in, and they cost me $4.39. My kind of flip. I absolutely love it. We will move on to the next one. This should be blatantly obvious for the majority of you. This is a pair of 100% authentic Burberry pants, and I am going to shout out that lovely woman that gave birth to yours truly, again, my mother, because these were hers. So I got the cufflinks, $200, and I got the pants, $200. So I got $400 out of my mom for absolutely $0. Good looking out, Mom. These are gorgeous. Novacek is the style here. Basically all over. US size, I forget what that size was. US size 8. Mom, I don't know what size you are. Sorry. But these were in excellent condition. They had some flaws, a little bit of state. Now, to the naked eye, I have to point this out. You're probably never ever going to see that, but because they exist and you're getting a really high quality garment here, you have to point these out, especially on an expensive pair of pants like this. So disclosed, no problem. Buyer won't have a problem with it, and I got full price, $200 with $8.50 in shipping. So the buyer is $208.49 all in, pre-tax, $0. Awesome sale. We will move on to the next one. I don't know if travel is picking up in the U.S. I have to suspect that it is, and so to me, I know it when I see it. And even pandemic aside, pick up good brands because they're going to sell at some point. I knew I would be holding on to this. A, because I priced on the high side, and B, because travel was like severely restricted in the U.S. because of the all over the world because of the pandemic. But this finally sold, so maybe it's picking back up, or maybe I just found the right buyer. I'm not exactly sure. It's one of the two, maybe a combination. But to me, this is a G4 piece of luggage. This is not the first one that I've sold. I've sold a few of these before. Rolling bag, and just in absolutely fantastic condition. Extremely well built. This brand commands a high dollar amount for a reason. It is not cheap overseas junk. It is well made, and the people that purchase these tend to keep them in really good condition. So this is no exception. In really good condition, you can see right there, G4 is the style. Black garment bag, suitcase, model 22030D4, and I got full price for it. $149.99 with $27.11 in shipping. So the buyer is $177.10 all in. It cost me $5, either $5.99 or $6.99, whatever the regular retail luggage price is for whatever store I sourced this in. It's around like $5 or $6. And the lesson here is pick the luggage up. I have been purposely passing it up often. But now after seeing this sale come through, I'm going to pay a little bit closer attention to the luggage again, because we are going to reach a point where this pandemic comes to an end from some form or multiple forms or multiple angles. It will eventually end and travel will pick up and return back to normal. So I guess I'll keep my eye out for that. But this was a wonderful sale. Tumi is a wonderful brand. And that brings us to the last sale of the episode. This was insane. I think what did this cost me? This cost me $4.99. It's a Kinetic Clock time machine. So long story short, you put the balls in there and get batteries fired up, and once the thing goes around for 60 seconds, one of the balls moves and it ticks, and the whole thing. Really neat to see, and I took video of it to make sure that the buyer was confident that the thing worked, and so that usually helps. But this is a big time BOLO for sure. Now, one thing to know, if you find one of these in stores that is similar to this, I don't believe it comes with an AC adapter, even though it is compatible, AC adapter compatible. I don't think they are offered in the one that I got. So keep that in mind. Like if you're like, oh shoot, this thing is missing it, like I have to dock my pricing because it's missing the adapter. No, it's not. It just doesn't come with it. But there is a huge market, and the list to sell ratio is excellent for these little clocks. So I got did I get full price? Yeah, I got full price for this. $149.99, and then the buyer paid $22.90 in shipping. So they are $172.89 all in. $4.99 again is what I paid. Found this just sitting on the shelf, and again, me there at 8:59 in the morning, waiting for it to turn 9 o'clock so that I can bust in there and get in and out as quickly and as safely as possible. And this was just staring me down on the shelf, and man, it's like a huge adrenaline rush when you see things like this, and you put that in your cart first thing in the morning. You just know the rest of the day is going to be amazing, and boom, 15, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it could have been 25. These were amazing though. All right, thank you once again. I hope you liked what you saw, and a reminder, there's the potential for this Christmas in July idea I have, where I run an entire week of giveaways just as a thank you for being a subscriber. So if you are not already, make sure you are subscribed. If you liked what you saw in this video, please leave me a like. But yeah, keep that in mind. I'm thinking about doing something big, just as a big thank you to this community for hanging with me and sticking with me through my journey. It's been fun, and I really enjoy doing that. So hopefully you've learned something today. Thank you so much. Brendan here, Dad Planet. I am out, and we will see you in the next video.